I want to start this video by apologizing to Mr. Frankel. I know you put so much effort and so much diligent care into crafting these side characters, and I completely glossed over them. And I won't lie, their backstories are good enough to get movies themselves. I mean, if they want to make a Collateral Beauty cinematic universe, I'm all for it. I love prequel trilogies. Now they have such melancholy backstories that when they do decide to kick Howard out of the company, you're not mad at them because you totally understand where they're coming from. Whit cheated on his wife and ruined their marriage. His daughter hates him for it. His promiscuous activities have caused them to lose everything, and the only thing he has left is the company he helped create. And now that's about to go down because of Howard's mental health.
He's also got a mother with Alzheimer's he has to take care of, and without a steady flow of income, that just becomes a more difficult task than it was before.
Claire wants to start her own family, but she's getting up there in age and soon she won't be able to have her own children. Claire will definitely be unable to have children because she'll have to start looking for a new job. And Mr. Frankel does a great job at letting you know her desires in a very subtle way.
So in this scene right here, as her and Whit are looking at Christmas trees, she takes a moment to stop and smell the trees and says,
"Oh my God, don't you just love that smell? Doesn't that remind you of your childhood?"
Smelling Christmas trees. Maybe this is an experience she'd like to share with a child of her own. Or maybe she's just feeling nostalgic.
Then you can see baby pictures on her desktop.
Babies are cute, I guess.
Then bam! A sperm donor pamphlet that she just left lying around on her desk.
Claire wants to be a baby mama. And then there's Simon. He's dying. So yeah, I really don't blame the guy for wanting to kick Howard out. He's got a family who's become accustomed to living a high-class lifestyle, and the man just wants to make sure they get to continue living that life. And again, Mr. Frankel lets you know this in subtle ways.
At first I thought this coughing fit at the beginning of the movie was 100% out of shock. But then if you look closely, the makeup team has put dark makeup around his eye sockets.
Look at me, I'm talking about the makeup team again. I forgot to mention their names, but here they are. Great job. And just to go on a bit of a tangent here, Pierce Austin, you didn't just do a great job in Will Smith's hair on this film. You've been doing it for the past 20 years. My personal favorite is Will Smith's cut in The Pursuit of Happiness. I mean, I love the fro, but his cut in After Earth is a close second. Anyway, back to Simon. These coughing fits are sprinkled throughout the film, and Michael Pena is just a great actor.
His second coughing fit happens in a coffee shop, and then when Bridget, I mean Death, asks if he's okay, he just says,
one word. Michael Pena said one word, and his delivery made that one word carry the weight of an entire Herman Melville novel. He also brings a certain comedic element to the role of Simon.
So who won that round? You or the porcelain?
Porcelain's undefeated.
And this just helps make the character more endearing to me, while at the same time making me sad knowing that such a great guy is soon about to lose his life to a disease he's beaten twice before. I still can't believe it.
Madeline and Howard were husband and wife before the events of this movie occurred?
This is an amazing twist that seemed to come out of nowhere, but looking back at the film, the signs are all there.
Look at the little smirk Madeline has on her face when Howard joins the support group for the first time.
That's a smirk of relief because she's thinking to herself, after all this time, you finally come back to me.
And then when Howard is about to walk away, she tries to bring him back, and Howard doesn't reject her. Whit's rejected by Howard to go to a basketball game. Claire's offer of food is rejected by Howard, but Madeline's attempts to keep Howard in a child law support group are successful?
One of the most awkward places you can be. What makes Madeline so convincing? It's because they were married before.
And there's this scene where they talk to each other, and the chemistry between them is obviously there.
What's your name?
I'm Madeline.
You see her hesitate? She's taken aback, being all like, wow, you forgot me? Your wife?
However, she quickly remembers how Howard has forever been scarred by the loss of his, their daughter, and she says,
You lost a child, Howard. It'll never be fixed.
but the cracks on Howard's tough exterior, acting like he doesn't know this woman, gradually begin to form. Like how he smiles a little when he finds out that Madeline still loves her former husband, which is him. And how he has a major slip-up describing the encounter with Bridget. Death. I still can't get used to that.
When we realized my daughter.
Damn! These little details Mr. Frankel just sprinkles in here and there just add on to the endless rewatchability of this movie. You're always finding out something new and going like, oh, how did I miss this one? In the big peeling of the curtain scene.
She didn't invite Howard over. She even says she's alone on Christmas Eve by choice. But Howard goes to Madeline's house anyway, already knowing the address?
The only way Howard could have known where Madeline lived was if he lived there before. Then there's the other big reveal. Finding out Bridget, Raffi, and Amy were actually Love, Death, and Time left me a nervous wreck. I literally couldn't trust anyone for the next few days. I was ordering my daily Friday night pizza on the phone, and for the first time in my life, I said, "Can you read that back to me, sir?" That's how bad Mr. Frankel ruined me. But again, he leaves clues behind for you to piece the puzzle out.
Like right here with the play they are trying to find funding for.
It's basically a play about the relationship between love, time, and death.
As if it wasn't a spark in my mind that gave that life meaning.
Death is saying, I'm doing my part. Without me, life has no meaning. How can you truly know the light if you've never seen the darkness?
Oh, you move your tongue, you mouth syllables, you echo sentiment, but you do not breathe.
Wow, Death, this is the reason as to why you take and take and take? Yeah, I'm not buying it.
And you have called me a temporary madness. A vicious soul. Well.
Notice how she points this line towards time. Temporary is a period of time. You see, there's this saying that love is a temporary madness, which basically boils down to that love is not about sparks flying, infatuation, and that's being in love. But real love is when the waves have settled and being loved has faded away, because eventually it will. New experiences become far and between, but the thought of parting ways is just an out-of-this-world idea that it becomes a necessity to stay together. That is true love. Captain Corelli's Mandolin is such a good movie. Then the way the pairings come together is another piece of the puzzle. Love gets paired up with Whit, who's trying to gain the affection of his daughter back.
And the thing Whit tells Love to say to Howard are the exact same things he wants to say to his daughter to gain her affection back. That he rejects her rejection, that he can't get rid of him that easily because his love for his daughter is everything to him, and if his daughter can't accept that, then they'll be much happier. And Love basically gets him to say these things to his daughter.
Which Whit never mentions to her.
You have a daughter, right?
Did we talk about that?
You didn't. Another thing about this scene.
She says she's working on 3 projects at the same time.
On the first watch through, you're thinking to yourself that, oh, she's just a very hard-working actress, but the second time around, you find out that these 3 projects are helping Whit, Howard, and Madeline? Time gets paired up with Claire, who's getting too old to have a baby of her own.
And times there's a reminder that, yeah, she's running out of time to have a baby of her own, but what's to say she can't adopt?
Wow. That's a pretty wise statement coming from a man who joked about using his money to buy designer drugs. And that's just when the police sirens go off. He is no young man. He is time incarnate. And then Death gets paired up with Simon for obvious reasons. Now the thing about Simon is he's keeping the return of his cancer a secret to his family, which is obviously the wrong thing to do. But he just can't deal with the pain of seeing them sad for him.
Death reminds him that he's robbing his family of the information they deserve to know. And this pushes him to admit to his wife that the cancer is back and it's stronger than ever, and this gives them a chance to say goodbye. And as they part ways, Death tells Simon that nothing is truly dead if you look at it right.
And this is Death telling Simon to go for further imaging, which is basically Death telling Simon it's not your time yet. Don't give up.
I really am death, Howard.
Mr. Frankel, I hate you. Mr. Frankel left this major clue out in plain sight, and it just completely whooshed over my head. I feel like a complete idiot watching this film for a second time. And I'm missing all the hints that Mr. Frankel left behind. But am I angry at Mr. Frankel in any way? No, because this movie is an all-time classic. The entire cast brought their complete A-game, and each scene is perfectly crafted by the mastermind that is Mr. Frankel, and I can't stress this enough. The rewatchability of this movie is fantastic. It's probably going to be Christmas in 3005, and we'll still be finding new things about Collateral Beauty to gush about.
Rah, rah, rah. Ah, rah, rah, rah. Damn, what's wrong with Hugh? Trailer for a movie he really wanted to do came out today. Hasn't been the same since.
Well, we can't just leave him here. We have hours of voiceover left to do.
My God.
Come on, Hugh, give us a little more.
More? I've wasted 17 years of my life on these dumb little comic book movies, and you want more? I don't know what to do, man. I think I've got an idea. We just need him to sound rabid. Let the editors fix this mess. What is this?